Awesome. Okay, so I'm super duper excited. Thank you guys for coming tonight. We are have some really cool training planned, and I see Robin is training with us tonight, and I'm super excited about that because she's going to be just talking about things that you can do to just kind of leverage, get more sales outside of a party. So I'll let her talk more in detail about any of that. And we also have a demonstration for you tonight if she's able to get on. So hopefully she'll be on and we'll be able to get an Ultra Pro demonstration. If not, then I'm sure I can get her to go live and do that demonstration for us. It's Rena, but I don't see her yet. So awesome. I'm so excited for tonight. It'll be fun. We got some good stuff planned. Like I said, we've got demonstrations, a little bit of how to. I also have a great training on getting lucky in your business. It's that time of year. Those of you that have been with us more than a year, every year this time we have our training on getting lucky in the business and just how attainable it is for you. So I'm super excited about that. And then also I'll go over some of the programs that we have going on right now, what you're working towards. I do not have recognition tonight. I did not get those slides. So I will make sure somebody posts it on Champion tomorrow. But I will say this, there are some teams that had some phenomenal sales in week one. And so yeah, definitely be proud. So that means there's a lot of you that did a lot of selling in week one. So I know that for a fact. So congratulations to everybody who even just hit submit in week one, right? Or even just had an order on their website. So congratulations to all of you. And again, that we'll get that posted as soon as we get it in our hands. We'll get that posted onto Champion so you can see all the success. I love something Pam said back in December when we did our end of the year recognition, and I absolutely loved it. I actually put it on a post-it note right here on my desk, right? And I have it on a post-it note and I have it in quotes, and I quoted Pam Clift at the bottom, and it says, "Don't get upset, just get serious." And I loved that. When she said that, I was like, wow, that is so good. Because when I see recognition, 9 times out of 10, it drives me. Like, it gets me excited. I'm like, wow, these people are selling. So if they can sell, I can sell, right? But that one time, that 1 out of 10 times when my head's in a weird place and I see the recognition, I'm like, man, everybody's selling more than me. And I'm not, I don't know, I'm not in the recognition, and I get really down on myself, right? And so if you're that person, or if it's that 1 out of 10 for you, you're just having one of those days where just everything feels wrong, right? And when you feel that way, it kind of piles on, okay? It happens to all of us. If you think you're a unicorn out there and that you're the only one that happens to, I promise you, as sparkly and magical as you are, you're not a unicorn, meaning you're not the only one that happens to. You're not alone, right? It's not rare. It is something that happens to each and every one of us on any given day. And so even the top of the top and the new of the new and the person that's been in the longest, right? We all have those days where we're just kind of struggling with our self-belief, and we see that recognition and we're like, dang it, and some people, that feeling kind of drives them. They're just like, they get determined, they get angry, they get determined. I remember a very specific day at rally, and I'm not going to name names, but a leader in our company, and she was sitting in rally and she looked so angry. And I went up to her after rally and I'm like, what's up? What's going on? And she's like, there is no reason that I shouldn't be up there in that recognition. I'm disgusted. I'm so angry that I'm not up there in that recognition. I was like, what are you going to do about it? And she's like, I'm going to work. And she did. And that leader stepped up several levels in the next couple months because she let that determination that she had in that moment, she turned that into something positive, and she turned it into action. So whatever feelings or triggers that happen when you see recognition, whether they're good, bad, or ugly, okay, you can do good things with them. So don't let that define you, and don't get discouraged. And when you do get discouraged, reach out to your upline director and they will pull you through that. All right. So So really quick, we got some more people that need to be admitted real fast. I think I saw Rena pop in, but I do not have, let me look real quick. Rena, are you ready, Rena, or do you want to go a little bit later? You look very ready to me. I just found you. You look very ready to me. So let's take it over to Rena, and she's going to do a demonstration for us on the amazing Ultra Pro. So take it away, Rena. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. I was trying to get up on my computer. It didn't happen. So anyway, I do have it on the phone. I have Ultra Pro because one of the Ultra Pro, the loaf pan, I have all of them right here. This one is on sale for $59. And the really cool thing about this one is, oh, I see that I am on the screen here. I don't know. I think I'm both on the computer and I'm on the phone. So whatever you need to do there. This one right here, the $59 one, you can actually put, say, a meatloaf in this one and slice it, cornbread and slice it. You could put a cobbler, baked beans, corn pudding. With there just being 2 in my house right now, this is the perfect size. And you wouldn't believe, but I don't think you need 1. I don't think you need 2. Think you need 3. And you can pop all 3 of these in the oven at the same time. I know the Amish make loaves of bread in this, and they, put 3 or 4 in their oven at one time and make several loaves of bread. So you'll definitely want to get this. And why would you want it? It's lightweight. Look, I can hold it with 1 finger. But don't let that fool you. It's very durable. I have kind of banged it against a counter to show somebody before just how durable it is. It's just very good, and it does not stick. You would not want to use Pam or spray anything like that in it. If you want to use butter or anything like that to keep it more moist or whatever, but you really don't need anything, and it washes out so easy. So take advantage, because this is not one in the catalog right now. So the only way you're going to get it is when it pops up just like it is right now in the sales flyer. So what all could you make? Meatloaf, cornbread, cobbler, baked beans, corn pudding. What could you not put in here? Anything like a big rotisserie chicken or a ham or something like that. So we have those that are in the catalog every day for you to use for those. So we have the lasagna pan. The lasagna pan is sort of like a 9 by 13, and it is a 3.3 or 3.5 quart, but everything is in this. So the first time that I was invited to Cheryl and Dave, my business leader at the time's house for a manager's meeting, they said, everyone bring a dish for Christmas dinner. And I thought, oh my gosh, what do I need to cook in? It's definitely got to be Tupperware. But what am I going to cook and what am I going to cook in? And believe it or not, when I got there, all the way around the dining room table, just about everybody had brought their food in this. I took cherry cobbler. There was ham, there was scalloped potatoes, baked beans. It just went all the way around the table. And I heard Bonnie Alexander, which we all know when Bonnie speaks, we all take notes, right? It all goes in our Tupperware diary. She said, the Ultra Pro is something that we don't demo a lot. It is one of our premium products, and it's just really not talked about that much. And it's very good quality. And I can nearly put all of my dinner in the oven just by using the Ultra Pro. So you got that kind of like a cake. You can do a cake, a cobbler, a ham. You do so much with it. But if you turn the lid over, this one in particular is ideal for putting the silicone forms in here. And it serves sort of like as a solid surface, a cookie sheet, so to speak, so that when you get that silicone form out, you can transfer it back and forth. Hi, Veronica. So you definitely want to get in on this one as well, because everything will go in that. The ham, it could be the lasagna, since it is called a lasagna pan. It is good for a larger meatloaf or corn pudding or cobbler. Just everything goes in it. So then we're going to move on to right now. They made this special size. This round one is actually a 1.5. And the 1.5 is ideal. It's just a little round one. It's so cute. It's adorable. You would use that all the time as well for, you know, scalloped potatoes, baked beans, corn pudding, so many different things. And that is $69. The lasagna pan, I believe, is $137. And then moving forward to the last one that we have in the catalog, and it is a stackable one. It's so neat. You don't have one, you have two. So this bottom one is a 3.7 quart. You could put a roast in the bottom of that one. And then on top, you double stack and put something else in there, like say possibly scalloped potatoes or baked beans, and flip the lid over, and you could use that as a third layer. If it was your lasagna pan, you might want to put garlic toast in it, but on this one, you might want to put an apple crisp or brownies or cornbread, just anything like that. So, you know, you want to get in on this one as well. We have it in the catalog for, I think that's 164. Somebody tell me if I don't have that right. I just marked my page and then messed it up. Here we go. Yes, it is 164 for a 6 quart roasting pan, and then that double stack is 192. So I did have it wrong. The double stack is the 2 quart 3.7 for 192, and then the Ultra Pro 6 quart, the roasting pan is 164. So you want to get in on this particular series. It goes everywhere. I mean, you can put it in a freezer. Yes, you're going to have to secure it because this lid is not airtight, liquid tight. You are going to have to wrap it in something to keep it airtight and so forth in the freezer. But it definitely goes in the oven, the microwave, the dishwasher, and it washes out so clean, so easy, doesn't stick. It goes everywhere, and it can be serveware on the table as well. So you definitely want to get in on that one, especially this one, this special size that you can't get right now. You can get it for $59. Then back to you.
There we go. I was muted. Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much for just kind of talking about that. I love my Ultra Pro. It is one of those things. I love products that I don't think about. I know that sounds weird, but you know, when something's frustrating in the kitchen, you're like, you want to bang your head against the wall anytime the subject comes up or you're thinking about. So I actually, one of my can openers broke and I was like, dang, my can opener broke. And I've had it's almost 20 years old. Okay. It's a Tupperware one, but it's almost 20 years old. So they do kind of wear out. Those metal mechanisms do kind of wear out over time. And so I'm trying to use it and I'm trying to use it. And finally it got to the point where I would be planning a recipe and I'm just like, I could open a can. I don't want to open a can. So what can I do that doesn't involve opening a can? Because I'm so frustrated thinking about this silly can opener when all I need to do is order one. I just kept forgetting. And actually I probably even had one over in storage. I just kept forgetting about it until it was time to open a can. And I'm like, son of a gun, I got this. I got to fight this can opener again. So that's what I love about my Ultra Pro. I don't think about my Ultra Pro. It cleans beautifully, right? It cleans up so beautifully. It stacks so beautifully. So I don't have to worry about it taking up space on my shelves, or even when I'm cooking with it, I don't have to worry about taking up too much space. And it's just such a great product. And when you buy it and you're done, right? It doesn't break. You don't have to worry about just shattering on the floor if it was like a glass casserole dish or anything like that. Absolutely. If you do not have Ultra Pro in your kitchen, definitely, if nothing else, get that one that's on sale just so you can experience just how great it is. I mean, it really is. You'll get, I actually used that love pan I made stuffed peppers. And so I was reheating them and I didn't want to reheat them in the microwave. I wanted to reheat them in the oven. So I just actually I could have done it in the microwave too, but I put them right. They were perfect. They fit in that loaf pan and then they were sitting upright. And I did not, because Eric's like, how are we going to keep these from falling over? And I was like, he's like, toothpicks. I was like, no, I'm like, I'm going to put them in my Ultra Pro. It's like a cup holder for my bell peppers, my stuffed peppers, right? So many great things. So definitely, if you don't have that, invest in that so that you can experience that and be able to talk about it, because that's the best way to sell your products. You can list all the training, you can read all the resources, but when you have it in your kitchen and you're using it and you have that experience, that is the best sales training that you're going to have. That and just talking to people about their products and them sharing with you the tips and stuff that they have with their products too. Awesome. Thank you so much, Rena. I appreciate you so much. All right. So really quick, before we go to Robin, we're going to come to you in a minute, Robin. I just wanted to go over what you're working for this month, or not even this month, but just this week, right? Some of it is month long, and then some of it is just this week. Oh, shoot. Hold, please. I was multitasking while she was working because I couldn't log into my training for later. I was like, oh no. All right, so we have a 2-week sales challenge going on right now that you're working towards. This is $500 in sales for the 2 weeks, right? This is February 29th to March 13th, and it is new catalog samples. I love it when they give us a chance to earn new catalog samples for free, because a lot of times I want to buy my samples too, but now I have double, right? So now I have the free samples, but I also have more. All right, let me move you guys over to this side. And then next, we have our monthly sales challenge. So this is February 29th through the 27th. And this is cool because this month we have 2 levels, right? So we have the $1,000 level, and you can get one of these, right? You can earn one of these, which is all these products. This is great stuff to have on a craft table to sell. And then you're making crazy profit on that because you're only paying $10 for it, right? When you have $1,000 in sales for the month. So great profit on that. Or if you want to use it for gifts, giveaways, bribes, that's what I love to use rewards for, bribes, because I'm just like, I am all profit, right? So I'm super excited when I get a chance to use my rewards for bribes, because then taking, not only have I already made money earning that reward, but then I'm taking that reward and I'm getting future money out of it by bribing people to date parties. These are great things that you could use at a party. If you're an in-person party person, you can do a pick your price, right? And so you can have one of these products, you could group them together and be like, hey, if you date your party on the 1st through the 5th, you can pick your price, and it could be $1 to $5 on these. You can kind of manipulate your calendar. If it's later in the month, instead of it having being the date of the party, you can have it be how many days out from where you are right there, right? So if you date a party for tomorrow, you get it for $1. If you date a party for the next day, you get it for $2, right? So I love using things like this for that purpose, right? Or another quick idea that I love to do at parties, and this again is an in-person party situation, is I like to have, when I have like kind of smaller products like this, right? Especially those little lunchettes, and maybe Vet and Serve that I had on sale that was a set, I broke it up and things like that. And I'll put them in a basket, and I'll do my own purchase with purchase, right? So I'll be like, hey, you spend $75, you get to shop from my basket, $5 a piece, right? And so I'll do things like that to just try and just up the sales a little bit more at that party. And that extra $5 just, goes, I always kind of like would allocate that money towards something else that I need to buy for like my business supplies type of a thing, right? So a great way to just kind of try to pull the sales up as much as you can at your parties. So awesome. All right. And as far as like virtual parties, it's great to have these products on hand so you can do your pictures, your selfies, your real life pictures to use in your parties. So that's always a plus. All right. So then we also have the monthly sales challenge again, and this is for $2,500. So if you can get the $1,000 level, and then you can get this $2,500 level, which is again new samples for the new catalog. Amazing, because a lot of times some of the new samples are color changes, and it's so great to have that stuff in your hand so that you can see it and you can hold it up and you can say, what color is this? And be like, look at this beautiful color, and you can experience it yourself, because again, you're going to sell, when you see it and it is like your favorite color, or even if you're just like, wow, that's a different color than what I thought it looked like in the catalog, you can talk about that and you can share that experience with people. So so this is $174 value for $15 when you have $2,500 in sales. So that's definitely something worth going towards, plus $150 volume bonus. That's right. Because you have $2,500 in sales, you get that $150 volume bonus. So that's always something, to me, that was always like icing on the cake, right? I didn't never counted on that because I just never knew where I was gonna fall. But then it was like, wow, I already got my commission, but now I'm making extra 150 or 200 or 300, right? I always love that personal sales volume bonus. That's actually one of the things that sold me on Tupperware. I was like, wait, they're gonna pay me more money on the effort I already did, and it's my effort, it's my sales, it's something I control. I'm like, yes, please. I was super excited about that. So because I actually, so for those of you who don't know, I was with a direct sales company before Tupperware, and they had so many loopholes in their compensation program that I was leading a team that we were consistently doing probably close to $10,000 in team sales every month. And only 1 month out of all the months I was with this company did I actually get paid on that team, because they had all these loopholes as to why I wouldn't get paid on my team. And I was so disenchanted with all of the direct sales because of that experience. I almost didn't even listen to Pam when she wanted to share with me about Tupperware, because I was like, I think it's all smoke and mirrors. I don't think you can actually really make money. And she's like, whoa, wait a minute, let me talk to you. And when we sat there and she was going over things, I still was in my head like, hey, if it's meant to be, it's up to me, and I can't control everybody else's actions, clearly, because that's part of the loophole situation from the other place. And I was like, so I loved the idea of being able to get an additional bonus on just my sales. So, because I came in kind of like, I'm not recruiting, I'm not doing any of that. I'm just going to do my parties and collect my commission and call it a day. And she told me, well, with your goals and what it is that you're wanting out of the business, recruiting is definitely a part of that. And I was like, fine, I will recruit if you say so. Right. And then I went forward, and then I realized that there really were not loopholes in this company. And I was like, and when I realized that, I was like, everybody needs to know about this. Everybody needs to know that Tupperware is different, that Tupperware is not the same as all these other companies. Everybody needs, and I was like, then recruiting was an issue because I was on a mission. I was like, people need to know that you can make money selling Tupperware, a brand that everybody knows, everybody's familiar with. You don't have to waste time explaining who we are. You say Tupperware, they're like, Tupperware, I know Tupperware. I've had Tupperware for years, right? And I was just like, that was half the battle. So yeah, so I love me a personal volume bonus. Okay. So get excited about that. I mean, I love it when they give me all these prizes and stuff for doing stuff, but money talks. Okay. Awesome. All right. We do have a recruiter award. When you have a recruit this month and they sell the 100, you can get these tumblers. Again, sometimes people look at these things like, psh, I don't want those tumblers. Who I'm not going to bother recruiting to get those tumblers. Listen, collect all you can. You are hunter gatherers, right? So just get as much stuff as you can for the smallest dollar amount, so you can turn around and either sell it for full price and make a huge profit, or parlay it into a party where you're going to make, sky's the limit, right? You can make $100, you can make $50, you can make a lot. You can make hundreds of dollars, on a party. So it's just important to just leverage every little thing that they put out there for us and just make it a personal challenge to yourself. And then we have our personal sales consistency program that we have going on. And this one's pretty cool. I love this exclusive popcorn thing they have going on. How fun is that? So this is still rolling. So pay attention. Honestly, if you do 250 every single month, you will be in all of these consistency challenges that we have all the time. And you don't have to worry about tracking yourself. You just know you're getting it. Okay. Just wait for the coupon to show up and just get it. So that's my best advice for you. Go for 250 every single month. Honestly, go for 500, but let's start with 250 and we'll baby step our way to 500 a month, right? I don't want to overwhelm you. All right. And then we have our new Ready, Set, Activate. Have you guys checked this out? We have such great things going on with our Ready, Set, Activate new consultant onboarding program. Definitely take a look at that. That is definitely a huge selling point in this business. Because I tell you what, when I started all those years ago, our Confident Start program was like, yay, you have 500 sales. Here's a keychain. And I'm like, what? Which at the time I was really excited about. But then when I saw all the offers that they have now, I'm like, dang, I would like to go back and earn that. Right. And then we also have a business builder surprise pack for $250, a value of $250 for anybody that steps up a level between now and April, right? Between now and the end of April. So if that's something that you're thinking about, you're like, gosh, maybe, maybe I do want a little bit more in this business, or maybe even just you already have a friend that's in the business with you, or you have one or two people that are in the business with you, and you're like, well, they're selling a little bit here and there. I'm selling a little bit here and there. Maybe I want to go ahead and step up just to make a little bit of extra money on top of what I'm already doing, right? So talk to your leader, and definitely we can get you on track for that. And then also we have a $300 business builder surprise pack available for anybody who has paid as their title here in March. So those leaders that are already leaders get paid as your title, and you got some business supplies coming your way. All right, so I'm going to bring to the screen Ms. Robin VanderWagon. She has some great ideas for just kind of, bringing in some extra sales here and there. So take it away, Robin.
All right then. Hello, I'm backlit. I hate when I'm backlit, but there's nothing I can do about it because I'm in a different spot. But my clock's gonna go now. I'm here tonight to talk to you about raffles, and I have a lot of things to say, so I'll try to be quick. But I wanted to start with what are you going to raffle? So if I personally hate raffles, but my people love them, so I do them just about every month, and they work. Think hard about what you want to raffle. If there's something fantastic, like this month we have the Thatsables, $75 for the Thatsable tower. You could put that in a raffle. You could do, I just did $100 shopping spree, the Lucky Shamrock. That was $100 shopping spree. You could do a $50 shopping spree. You could do it however you like. But think about what you want to raffle and the value of it. So if you're doing the Thatsables, well, here, we'll just use this one for an example. If you're doing the Wow Pop, the Wow Pop's $29. It's going to cost $9.99 to ship that. So that gives you $39. And then there's going to be tax on that $39. I always calculate 10% because that's the highest tax I've run into. I forget where it was, but so it also makes the math easier. So $39, 10%, we're going to say another $4. So $43 is what I'm working with. So I used 22 little popcorn things, and they fit on there nicely. And I made them $2 a piece to cover the $49 that it would take to ship this anywhere in the United States. My people are all over the place. If you are selling your chances to people in your locale and you know the tax rate, then that makes it a little easier for you to calculate. I have to make a broad spectrum. So then you just post it. Now you can do something fancy like this. I made this for everybody to use. And then as I sold the spots, I put their name right over top of the popcorn bin. And I did this for online. You could also text message this to people, but you do not have to have a fancy paper. You can have a picture of the item, and then if you're doing it on Facebook, in your Facebook post, announce the raffle, how you're accepting payment, and then just list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as people buy them, put their number in the right on the post itself, put their name next to the number. I've seen a friend of mine, actually my Tupperware lady, that's how she does it. Before I was a Tupperware lady, but she does it now that way. And so that's how how you do it. Think of what you want to do. I've started to get away from doing a single product. I did this one because it's a brand new product, and going more toward the shopping spree, just because sometimes people that buy my chances every time, they aren't interested in whatever the product is. Maybe they already have it. Maybe it's just not something that they want. So another way you can get around that is you can say this product or the equivalent in whatever it is you do want. Or you could just make that disclaimer verbally. I usually go live when I talk about these things, but that's how how you calculate how many spots you need. or how many dollars you're charging per spot. For my $100 shopping spree, I usually do 25 at $5 a piece, and that takes care of the $100, the $13.99 it's going to cost to ship, and it also takes care of that's $114, $11.40 that covers the money for the tax, for the highest tax that I've had to pay. Now, we could do this online with something fancy, or just with a post with the numbers listed, and let people, choose their numbers, and you can fill them in on a list. I also like to do them at my vendor events, because sometimes when people come to a vendor event, they're not prepared to put out Tupperware money. They came for the $5 baked goods. So when I do it at a vendor event, I have my paper. I've got this one already for my late March or mid-March vendor event. So I have my paper ready, and then I have a little sign-up sheet for them to put their name, their phone number, and their email address, and just let me know which way they like to be contacted. And then I'll just have this on my table, and people, it'll catch their attention, and they will purchase a spot. And that's another way you could do it. You just need to have a good way to get in touch with them. Facebook's always easy because usually they're your friends. So those are some ideas of what to raffle, how to raffle it, how to calculate it. You could also do this besides vendor events and doing it online. You could do it as a fundraiser. Now, when you're doing a fundraiser, I would like increase the number of chances so that they're actually making funds. So say if you're going to do $100 shopping spree, instead of doing 25 chances at $5 a piece, you might do 40. It's a fundraiser. So you want to be making money. They expect money to be made. So do 40 or maybe even 50, whatever it is that you choose, and do it that way, and people can be winning a chance and still supporting whatever cause it is that you're doing for your fundraiser. So those are some ideas there. Now I wanted to talk to you about, let me see, I've got my list that I'm looking at. How are you going to choose them? You finally sold all your spots. How are you going to choose them? Oh, I forgot one more thing, is just the power of being in person. I've taken my raffles with me to karaoke, and if you're a karaokeer, that's a really good place to build chances, because people at the bar are loose with their money. So there you go. I haven't been to karaoke in a long time. I prefer to do my raffles old school, but there are many, many ways you can do it. You can use a randomizer that just chooses your number and do it that way. You can use a wheel and all things like that. But I go live when I do it, and I always the reason that there's a couple reasons I do it that way. First of all, I'm excited about it, but I always do mine old school, and right in front of them, I take the raffle and I cut it up, and I just did one just now, and I put the names into my bowl, and I'm always using something that is on sale now. So the people who aren't involved in the raffle that are watching me are getting a little advertisement, because I can tell them, well, what I did tonight was I was like, oh, I don't know which bowl I want to use. And this is part of our set that's on sale this month. The Tower of Thatsables. You got to get you some of them. And then I go ahead and I do my raffle. But I just like to do it. It's dramatic, and I like to hear myself talk. So this is the one I chose. Johnny won tonight. He's choosing his $100. He buys all the time, and he finally won. I was so excited for him. But and then I always have a consolation prize, because I had a gentleman buy 10 spots in this one, and he did not win. I felt bad. So I told them, as always, if you purchased a spot and you didn't win, place an order before the end of the month and remind me, and I will give you a discount. I never tell them what it's going to be. I wait and see what they order. But I always say I'll give them a discount, and I could do 5%, 10%, 15%. I could give them 25%. I don't know. It just depends. Bruce, that bought 10 spots, I might give him 25%. I'm not sure. But he already placed his March order, so I doubt that he'll be ordering again. I don't know. I'll do something special for Bruce. But anyhow, that's how I do my raffles. I did see my Tupperware lady, the way she does hers, it was kind of exciting. She'd put all the names on a wheel, and then sometimes she does the first one pulled, but sometimes she does the last one pulled. And that was exciting to watch because she's just going through and, oh, I'm sorry, Jenny, you didn't win. And then she spins it again. And as she spins the wheel, she takes the names off the wheel because, you can do that on those online wheels. And then the last person wins. And that's kind of fun. That was fun to watch. I'm very tempted to do it, but I really like using my, kitchen shears on live and advertising my products as I do it in my bowl. And if I have a grandchild here, I let them pull. But I think that's all I have to say about that. So I hope I've covered everything. And if you have any questions, let me know.
I love that. Thank you so much, Robin. How many great ideas was that? And I have done raffles in the past. I did them right in my VIP group. I haven't done any recently. You were kind of talking, and I was like, yeah, I haven't done a raffle in a while. Maybe I should do a raffle, and it's just one of those things, the cool thing about the business is you can do in-person parties, you can do virtual parties, you can do catalog parties, you can do raffles, you can do fundraising, you can do all these different ways to work your business, and it's all feeding into the same place, right? So it's all feeding into your monthly sales, which is going to get higher, and you'll be able to get that bonus I'm talking about, right? I keep talking about that volume bonus, right? All right. Thank you so much, Robin.
Oh,
Oh, go ahead. She's got one
I have
more.
one
What?
more thing. And I totally forgot to say this, but the one thing that I do like to do, if you have a large party that is not generating any orders, there's a lot of people in there. It's like, why isn't anybody buying? Sometimes I like to throw a raffle in there for that party because maybe they don't want to spend all that money, but they'll spend $5 and Venmo it. And then but I always put, all this $100 is going to go toward Jenny's party. And that has worked for me too. So that's another
That's a
way.
great idea, actually. Yeah, especially if they're like, either it's kind of a party where nobody's interacting, or if they're that close to the goal and you're just not quite getting there, like, okay, if we can fill this up, she's going to hit her goal. So, who wants one? So that's a great idea, Robin. Thank you so much for sharing. Awesome. All right, everybody. Okay, so Jenny is driving right now across the country. She's going down to Georgia to see her daughter and granddaughter. But so she went ahead and she did our drawings for us. And so Team Ahas is Christina Moreau. Christina Moreau is Team Ahas. Bonnie Alexander is Parties Up. Woohoo! She's a big partier. And we have Share the Shine is none other than Miss Robin VanderWagon. Congratulations, Robin. She's like, yeah. So congratulations, Robin. Thank you so much. Awesome. Okay, so we put a post out there saying ask questions, right? So really quick, I'm going to kind of go to those questions. I was looking at them, and somebody had asked, Amanda, you had asked, how do I do a return? I'm assuming you're talking about a warranty. And so it's a little bit more complicated than me being able to share right here. I think Bonnie's actually going to do a video for us and get that posted for us on how to do warranties, because she is a pro. And I am not the expert at warranties. Bonnie is an expert, and Jenny is an expert. And there are probably a couple more of you out there, but I'm not. And I used to be in the old program. I was an expert at warranties, but the new program, for some reason, I kind of falter a little bit. So she's going to do a video for us on that. So keep an eye out for that. And then how do I get a frugal person to say yes? You know what? That is a really good question. And with that question, Pam, one time she drew a circle, and it started with a small circle in the middle, and she's like, this is the product, right? And then every time you list a feature and benefit, the circle gets bigger, right? And so every time you reach you list a feature and benefit, the circle gets bigger and bigger. So the more features and benefits, the bigger the circle gets, and the more that they're kind of sold on it. Like at first they're like, I don't think so. I don't want this, right? And then you tell them more and they're like, oh, well, maybe, right? And then you tell them more and maybe. And when it comes to frugal people, I know all those years ago when I got started, the economy was very similar to what it is now, except it was more about unemployment than about inflation. Okay. And at the time, people were just really holding on to their cash because it was just, they were coming off of an unemployment. They just went on an unemployment. They're nervous about an unemployment. And so my biggest sellers were Fridge Smarts. I sold the heck out of Fridge Smarts because at my parties, all of my posts on Facebook, any of that stuff, it was all about how Tupperware can save you money. And when you're teaching frugal people how they can save money, they're going to spend that money so that they can save the money, right? And so and I always talked really about like, about like, because at the experience, I remember, when that first couple months I was selling Tupperware, I started, why is my shirt so uneven? Maybe I should just pretend it's like an asymmetrical shirt, but it's trying to be crazy. Okay. Sorry, guys. That's a problem with video. So, so as I was like at parties, I would tell them like, I realized after I started selling Tupperware and I was thinking about Tupperware, why would people buy Tupperware? Because I'd spent a lot of time thinking about that because at the time I was frugal. Like, honestly, I wasn't frugal. I was broke. Okay. There's a difference. A frugal person is intentionally saving money. I had no choice. All right. So, but I thought, why is anyone to spend this money on Tupperware? And I looked at my cupboards and I realized I had Tupperware in there that belonged to my grandma. So it's that old, right? It belonged to my grandma. And then I had replaced all this other crap I was buying over and over. And I was like, well, I keep spending the money on this stuff. But if I just spend a little bit more on this, it's going to do that. And so that was really what I taught. That was my message at all the parties, was how it could save you money. I gave them numbers, right? I talked about, how many, if you haven't watched the video that we shared of Amy Gardner talking about, eco going green with Tupperware, and she talks about the bags, our Ziploc bags. And she talks about like how many baggies you can save and all of that. That is definitely the points to hit home when you're talking to somebody who's frugal. And just being like, just some food for thought. A frugal person is going to want to think about it. Okay. So you may not get to sale right then, but you're definitely planting those seeds. And the next time that she goes to pitch a cheap piece of plastic, she might be like, here I am buying this plastic again. Maybe what Amanda said made sense and I should do that. All right. Let's see here. Somebody said, how do I place an order for a customer in a party and send them their own private payment link? Let me try and share my screen. Let me pull up my Tupperware website first and get logged in and get to where I need to be so that way you guys don't need to see all the rest of that stuff. Because my screens look a little bit different than yours, and I don't want anybody to get stressed out or confused. Manage parties. I'll go to one of my open parties. Okie dokie. All right, this is, there we go. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Okay, so this is a party host. She's having it shipped to me because she lives close to me, but she didn't want it delivered to her house, which is fine. So here are some of the party orders. So all of these are web orders. All right, let me just see. You know what? Maybe I'm just gonna I'm gonna go in here and I'm just gonna add some stuff to her order real quick, and I'll just have to remember to back it out of there. Let's just add that. Let's just add this. All right. So, and then let's just, so now I have stuff. This is a host order, so it's slightly different, but so I have stuff in here. So I'm going to go to review and payments. And right here, you see this when I hover over top of this little icon, it says copy payment link. So I can just text that pay. I can copy that. If I click on it, it'll copy it to my clipboard. and then I can either text it to her or I can email it to her, and she'll be able to get that link. So you're looking for that little icon right there, and then that's how they get that invoice to be able to pay. I will say this, and I wish Tupperware would change it. I'm gonna leave my, I'm gonna stop my share for a second. I wish Tupperware would change it, but they don't have a breakdown of everything that's on that order. It's just literally a total. And so I wish that it was like a full-blown invoice, unless they changed it. I haven't looked at one in a long time. But unless they changed it, it's not like a full-blown, like, it doesn't look like an order form and then with a payment button. It's just like, here's a payment button, pay for your stuff. So that's something I would say. And how do they pay? They can pay by credit card and stuff like that. Oh, she's asking Robin how they pay you. She said Venmo or PayPal or however you want to accept cash. Cash App, whatever. All right, so that's the problem with chat. If I don't look at it, then I see it and it's all like away from the question that was being asked. All right, so let me look real quick. What was the other? Oh shoot, I got rid of there was one more question on that post that I wanted to address, and I navigated away from it. Hold on. What in the world am I doing? Goodness gracious. It's my first day, sorry. It's my first day living. All right, let's see here. Champion. All right. Oh, I know what it was, but I'm not sure if I have the answer for you. But I'm going to talk about it. So the question was, how do I share the catalog into my VIP group? So there are a couple ways to do that. And one of the ways Nikki just supplied us with the other day, and I can't remember the name of the group. If any of you saw it on Facebook, Nikki said we have a new group and it's called Champion something. If you know the name of it, shout it out and I'll go find it. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. Oh, that's cute. If anybody knows, let me just see if I can champion. No, champion leaders. Nope. It's brand new. It's not Pam and Jim. Pam and
I
Jim.
just tagged it on the Facebook so you can show it.
You put it on the face, you tagged me on the Facebook on the champion page?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Nikki. Didn't even know you were out there. Of course, it's not showing up because Facebook's silly. All right, hold on. What's it called, Nikki? Can you just tell me real quick what it's called? There it is. Kellogg mentioned what's on your wish list. There it is. Champion Tupperware team. All right, let me share my screen again and I'll show you guys. So this is something new and it's a public group that Nikki created for us. She was doing this with her team and she was talking about it and we're like, oh my gosh, it would be great. So this is a public group. Definitely get in here and follow it, like it, all that jazz. Save it, wherever you need to save it so you can get to it quickly. But it's a public group, so you can share right out of here. So you just click the share button and boom, here's the spring catalog. She loaded all the pictures in there for you. And then here is here's a great, it's one of the recipe booklets. So when you're doing parties and somebody wins a prize, if you're doing a virtual party, or maybe Robin, when she's doing her raffles, she does a runner-up and the runner-up gets a booklet, just like a consolation prize, right? You can share it right out of here. So you can share it straight into Messenger here. You can share it. Don't share it into your feed because you want to save this as a prize. You want it to be something special. But with the catalog, you can share it into your group. So you can click share group and then click on your VIP group and you can share it right into there. So thank you, Nikki, for putting that together for us. It'll make it a lot easier for everybody. So so those are some of the questions. Thanks everybody who asked the question. Sometimes it's nice. We just kind of have some questions out there and we're like, how do you do this? How do you do that? So awesome. Okay, so last but certainly not least, we are going to talk about getting lucky in business. All right. And this is one of my favorite trainings to do every single year because I believe in, oh, did somebody ask a question? Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So this is one of my favorite trainings to do because I have said for years, long even before I was in Tupperware, I don't believe in luck, right? And I don't. I really don't. I do not believe in luck. I believe in hard work. And I remember when I first started in Tupperware, we would go to the meetings and we'd do all these drawings at the meetings, and a lot of them were recognition based. They were all of that kind of stuff. And I would win so many drawings. And people are like, oh my gosh, you're so lucky. And I'm like, no, I just have more entries. Like, it's odds, right? And I'm like, because and there's a quote. It says, the harder I work, the luckier I get. Right. And I truly, truly believe that. And it's so important, because how can you increase the chances of luck shining on you and your business every day? It can start with you changing your own thoughts and behaviors to get results, And that is the key, right? And so, number one, the first thing you can do is maximize each opportunity. Each opportunity, right? So lucky people don't lock themselves in their office, right? They actually go out and look for additional possibilities to make things happen. Tony Robbins says, if you always do what you've always done, you always get what you've always gotten. And you know who else says that all the time? Pam Clift, okay? I can't tell you how many times I've heard that come out of her mouth, right? And you want to be open to meeting new people and exposing yourself to new situations that can bring additional opportunities. And I'm going to add to that and say, you also want to take opportunities to get uncomfortable, right? Because that's where the growth happens. The growth happens on the edge of your comfort zone. So the more uncomfortable you can get, the more you're growing. So every time you're like, oh, this feels so gross and uncomfortable, and I just feel totally ick, that's okay, right? There's growth happening there as long as you're challenging yourself and putting one foot in front of the other. And always remember, success happens when opportunity meets preparation. That is hands down one of my all-time favorite quotes. I love quotes. I've got a lot of favorite quotes. This is one I think to myself all the time. On days when I'm like, I don't really have that much to do. What should I do today? And I take that time to sharpen my saw, because at some point, success is going to happen, because opportunity meets the preparation I'm doing right now, the preparation of my mental health, the preparation of becoming mentally strong, the preparation of having interesting things to say, because I've taken in so much information, right? And so, number two is spread your risk. All right, don't bet the success of your business on a single action or decision. How many times have you in your business thought, you keep getting no's about parties, and you're just like, see, I can't be successful like Bonnie and Loretta and Rena, all these people that do all these, I can't date parties like they can. I can't. That's a single action. Dating a parties is only one facet of this business, and it's only part of the way that you can make money. So pivot. Pivot, pivot, pivot. It's so important. If you've ever kind of been working on something, maybe you're trying to learn something new, right? For me, it's computer stuff, right? I get people think that I'm pretty techie when I start kind of talking about computer stuff, but my brain doesn't work that way naturally. So it takes me sometimes more than twice as long. Sometimes it takes a significant amount more longer for me to understand things on the computer than somebody who does have a mind that works that way. But I'm determined, right? And so I take the time to learn that type of stuff. And when my brain gets tired, I pivot and I work on something else for a while. And it's the same way in your business. If you're coming up against opposition and you're trying to recruit people, you're trying to recruit your hosts, right? And just everybody's saying no, and you don't know why, pivot. Start trying to recruit friends and family. Start trying to talk to all the party guests and make sure you're doing that. You should be doing that all the time. But sometimes when you give a concerted effort to that specific crowd, then it kind of shifts things a little bit. And then you can go back and start in on the hosts again and be like, okay, now I got my mojo back, right? And so it's the same thing with dating parties. You can't you're getting no's. Don't stop asking. but make sure you're also pivoting and being like, all right, where else can I get sales? How can I get creative? What can I do? Right? To just kind of change your energy around it and change your mindset and start getting that success again, and then come back again full force and work on dating those parties. But don't be like, well, this business just doesn't work, and walk away, because that's not gonna lead to that further success. The more chances you have for success, the more times you can be successful. So learn what you can from the results and take another action. There's a trainer that a couple of us really love to listen to. His name's Eric Worre, and he preaches plan, do, review, right? Plan your actions. Take that action, review what worked, what didn't, what do I need to change? How can I make it easier? How can I come, how can I go against that opposition next time? That's when they give me an objection, right? So spread that risk. All right. So number 3, listen to your gut. Developing an intuition is about honing a skill in a certain area to see patterns that others miss, right? It takes diligent practice over a long period of time, right? To get that intuition, and it comes from life experience. It comes from, working the business, and then you get this intuition. I know people that can sit, and I can do it too. Sometimes you're sitting in a booth, you're working a craft show, and somebody starts walking up and you're like, they're going to date a party. That's a party walking down the aisle, right? And then when it happens, you're like, yes, right? And it happens. That's the intuition that you start to get. And you can do it at a party too. You can be like, that one, I want to date a party with her. And I do it because a lot of times it's somebody's vibe. Like, I'm just like, oh, I like her energy. I like what she's bringing to the party, and I want to party with her, right? It's not that I don't ask everybody else, but I look at this person, I'm like, and that's my gut. That's my intuition telling me. All right, so number 4, don't get frustrated. Stressful people tend to be tense and uptight, right? And they can seem desperate, and customers can smell this. It can be critical for you to relax and not press too hard in every sales situation. It's so important to realize when you're determined and you're doing all these things that you're going to be successful with or without that particular party, because you're going to ask the next person, and then you're going to ask the next person, and then you're going to ask the next person, right? You're going to be successful with or without that person saying yes to the opportunity, because you're going to ask the next person, and you're going to ask the next person. It's so important to realize that you have that control. Don't give that control to somebody else who has their own stories going in their head as to why they can't or won't do this business, right? All right, so number 5, expect luck. Expect the best, right? People who think they're lucky and successful may have more of an opportunity for it to end up that way. This is because they optimistically focus on a victorious outcome. In Earl Nightingale's book, The Strangest Secret, he says, we become what we think about, right? What you think about, you bring about. We've heard that said in so many ways, right? And stay in your circle of influence. This is so powerful. This is so powerful. I am so in my circle of influence that when people come at me and they start to complain about things that are not in my circle of influence, I tune them out. And sometimes I flat out dismiss them, depending upon who it is and if I'm comfortable enough, and depending upon my mood. But when I concentrate on the things I can control, I can't control gas prices. I don't even talk about gas prices. I have no idea what the gas price is. I know that when I need gas, I'm going to get the amount of gas that I can afford. Doesn't matter. Okay. And so I'm not going to waste any of my energy thinking about gas prices, right? Because I can't control it. The cost of living, I can't control that either. I can control my actions around it. I might adjust the things I'm eating, making, so that I'm buying less expensive groceries, or I'm shopping at a less expensive store, or things like that. I can't control if somebody dates a party, right? I can't control other people's actions, but I can control me and mine. And that's okay if that person doesn't date a party, because I'm going to ask other people too. And somebody's going to say yes, because the odds are forever in my favor. Okay. All right. I can control my thoughts and my actions and my choices, and lean into what I can control when we're losing, So when we were losing our house, I couldn't control the bank. I couldn't control the lawsuits, right? All these years ago. But I choose my response to it, and I chose joy because I had kids and they're looking at me and they're looking for the joy. And I had to choose that in order to instill that in them. And we had an appraiser that came to the house at that time. And she walked in and I was like, "Oh, hi, come in." And she comes in and I was like, "Do you need any help?" And then afterwards she was doing paperwork and we sat down and we talked for a long time. And she was getting ready to leave and she goes, "I didn't know what to expect today." And I said, "Oh, really? Why?" And she goes, "Because I know why I'm here." And that was her way of saying, "I know you're losing your house." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, you probably do." And she's just like, "But you're not what I expected." She goes, "I come do this job and people are so angry at me, but it's not my fault." I said, "Oh, yeah, this is not your fault." I was like, I'm like, "Why would somebody be angry at you? You're like, you're just doing your job?" And it's just, and that's it. I expected good things to happen. And I even in losing our house, I expected that we need to let go of that house so we could open ourselves up to something greater, something less stressful, not something bigger, nothing like that, but just something less stressful, something that was going to be better for us. All right, so almost done. Number 6, optimize bad breaks. You will likely fail some of the time. It's going to happen, right? It's inevitable. And if not, then I need some of your mojo. Whether this is due to wrong actions, insufficient training, poor timing, or it doesn't matter. It's not important, right? The key is to learn what you can from the failure right now. You can have a pity party for 24 hours. I just was talking to Pam the other day and I said, I really was able to see how far I've come mentally, like my mental strength that I have managed to hone over the last couple years, because something happened the other day, and it's something that normally would take me at least 24 hours, maybe even a couple days to bounce back from. And it only took 2 hours. And after 2 hours, I was like, "You know what? I know who I am and I've got this." Like, I was just like, but those 2 hours, I was down and out, man. I was really upset. I was hurt and I was very disappointed in this situation that had happened. And then I was just like, "No, that's their story. That's their story that made them behave that way." And I'm like, "This is not my story. And I'm going to do the right thing and I'm going to succeed because of it." And when people ask me, "What is it that you did?" I'm like, "I did the right thing. And that's why I'm here and I'm succeeding." And it's so important to realize that. And you got to let it go. You got to let it go and take another action to give you an additional chance for success, because you learn more from the losses than you do from the wins. And we all know that. We know that if we have kids in sports, we know that if we've been in sports, we know that throughout life. I learn way more from the hard times than I do from the good times. All right, so last but certainly not least, use luck rituals. Do not be afraid to use luck rituals, right? You got a lucky pair of socks, you put them on, okay? This seems to really work. And all it is like these rituals can do is put you in a better frame of mind, right? You're like, "Hey, I'm having a day because I got my lucky socks on." It was the other day I got dressed and I put my clothes, both my shirt and my bottom, my pants, inside out. I put them on inside out. And I came in the office and I said to Eric, I was like, "I'm completely dressed inside out today." I'm like, "Something weird's gonna happen." And it was a weird day. It was like a weird sort of like, whoa, there's some weird things happening, right? Not bad, just weird. And so it's important, to put yourself in a better frame of mind and to expect and receive luck and opportunities that come your way. Change your vibe. Your vibe attracts your tribe. So what are you putting out there, right? Sage your house, do whatever you gotta do, right? I have stuff I use, like when everybody's being negative, I'm like, "Okay, we're gonna change this up," right? When it comes to the business, one surefire way to get lucky in this business is through recruiting. Every time you recruit, you increase your odds for success, because for every 10 people you recruit, one could potentially become a manager. How cool is that? right? And so never prejudge. Our job is to educate. Let go of the yes and just educate them in the business and stay connected to the ones that aren't ready, right? The ones that aren't ready right now. That doesn't mean they'll never be ready, because the harder you work, the luckier you get. All right. So, it's funny. There's something, hold on. I was just thinking about this. Okay, so when it comes to being desperate, okay, I talked about that for just a second, about like the people can sense that on you. And when I was feeling the most desperate in my business, I remember a leader said to me what I said, right? I'm going to be successful with or without that yes. And I remember thinking, I'm not. I need every party I can get. I'm like, I don't know how she can say that. I'm desperate. I need these parties. And the way that I was able to switch that was I had a good old P-Touch machine, right? The ones that made the labels, and it was huge, this bad boy. Like now they're like so tiny. You can do it on your phone. I think there's probably an app for it. But like I had a little P-Touch machine and I made this like little strip and I put it on my laptop, like right here above my keyboard, right? And it said, let go of the outcome and enjoy the process. And when I would get done making my phone calls, Eric would say, how'd they go? And I would say, well, I didn't get any parties tonight, but I had some really cool conversations, and I focused on the relationships and I focused on the conversations. And so sometimes you have to, especially if you're in that place of desperation and you're like, Ellen, I do need all the yeses. I am not going to make it without this party or this person. If you're feeling that way, you need to just keep reminding yourself, put it on a Post-it note, do whatever you got to do, but just let go of the outcome and enjoy the process. And when you do that and you do consistent actions every day, you're going to succeed. And then you're going to be like, oh, I did succeed without that party, right? So it's really important to do that. All right. Okay. So all we have left to do is our attendance drawing. And so let's see, we have 33 people on. So let me get my little Siri going. Hey Siri, can I have a number between 1 and 33? Of course it said 1. I'm 1. I don't know why I even said 1. Hey Siri, can I have a number between 2 and 33? All right. It's number 24. So 5, 10, 15, 20. It is Pam with a little comma, like a little apostrophe in front of her name. So Pam with the apostrophe.
That's me.
Who's me? Who's me? Pam who?
Pam Green.
Pam Green! Congratulations, Pam Green! Awesome. Oh my goodness. Congratulations. See, Rena knew immediately. She's like, or she's typing before you even said your name. Well, congratulations, Pam. And thank you, Rena. And thank you, Robin, for joining me tonight. Thank you, all of you. I hope you got some good information out of here. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. So have a great week and get lucky in business. Okay. All right. Bye, guys.